Hello, everyone.
It's a day, Larry, that fans in these parts will need to savor as we come to you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Oakland Raiders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The numbers from last week's game for Ebron. 6 catches, 93 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
They'll run it here with Blount. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. And there are the numbers a week ago for LeGarrette Blount. 17 carries, 61 yards.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, 10 is really the goal, and this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense to try and get him in there at least twice in this game.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack. Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They'll run again with Bernard. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. To throw on 3rd down. Webb going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Play clock winding down. Webb. Open man right side is Ingram. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Let's go. Back that up, Philly. Here we go. No. Check. Patriot.
Here's Webb. The swing pass caught. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. On the toss, Bernard. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
But how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
Yeah, the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the Raiders have got him.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. Touchdown, Oakland. Giovanni Bernard with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Ebron's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Stafford finding his big tight end Ebron for a Lion first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll run again with Blunt. And not much room to operate as they'll get this up only to about the 41. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Now Bernard. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Webb to throw. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. On 4th down, here's the Raider punter Marquette King to kick it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
It's complete to Brown, right side. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From the red zone now, Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Certainly their offense has sputtered here a little bit in the first half as they finally do get on the board, but they only have 3.
Well, at least it eases the frustration a bit, doesn't it? To be able to get some points on the board, feel a little bit better about themselves as they go into the locker room and try and regroup.
let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because
they've got his man complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. First down, it's Webb. Quick hitter here, it's complete. There he goes inside the 30. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Just 1 yard to go here on second down. Webb now from the gun. Steps away to his left. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun on third down. Webb underneath. This is Bernard. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Out of the gun, it's Webb. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Giovanni Bernard in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number two.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This one fielded at the 5. So we've reached halftime. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Now let's go.
Again, here's Bernard. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
and they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down.
Here we go now.
They run it with McKinnon. They find some open field here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a carry for Bernard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country, and at BYU was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really liked soccer and basketball, but football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well. Drafted on potential, he's realizing it here.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
Now Webb. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripted 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Justin Houston in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Third and long. It's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted.
Giovanni Bernard, nothing but green grass. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Giovanni Bernard, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him, as we've seen. But just had 3 rushing touchdowns, and, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The drive starts with a handoff to Blunt. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, here's Blunt. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. They go play action here on 1st down, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Second and 10, Stafford again. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch?
Back now in the East Bay, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. It's a big play there for Oakland. 45 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And an alley to run. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 three. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll try and run with McKinnon. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here we go now. Blue line.
Second and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jerick McKinnon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they wanted to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
On second down, here's Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Raiders on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Detroit!
Operating from the gun. Webb. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out. Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Here we go now. Blue line.
McKinnon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
The Raiders on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11.
Leopard! Over!
To throw, Webb. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. Now a toss play to Bernard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
And some space here. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And Charles, I think with his